There is something your brain does every single day. Something so quiet that most people never notice it. It remembers what made you feel better. Not what made you healthier. Just what made the discomfort disappear. And sometimes that is exactly why the habits you hate become the habits your brain protects the most. Maybe you've experienced it before. You promise yourself that tonight will be different. You'll go to bed early. No more scrolling. No more just one more video. You place your phone beside your bed. Close your eyes. Then a single thought appears, maybe, I'll check one notification. 10 minutes become 30. 30 become 90. And before you realize it, it's 2 a.m. Tomorrow you blame yourself. You think you were lazy, weak, undisciplined. But what if that's not what actually happened? Welcome back, A.S.X Studio. In this video, we're going inside the human brain to understand why bad habits feel so powerful. Why they keep pulling you back. And more importantly, how you can finally begin to change them. Because once you understand what your brain is really trying to do, your habits start making a lot more sense. Your brain has been evolving for hundreds of thousands of years. But here's something surprising. It wasn't designed to make you successful. It wasn't designed to make you productive. It wasn't even designed to make you happy all the time. Its first priority has always been survival. And survival follows one simple rule. If something helped before, do it again. Imagine one of our ancient ancestors. They are hungry, exhausted, searching for food. Then suddenly, they find a tree full of sweet fruit. Their brain immediately creates a memory, remember this place. Because remembering it could mean surviving another day. That same learning system still exists inside your brain today. The only difference is, instead of remembering fruit, it remembers things like social media, junk food, online shopping, or anything else that quickly changes the way you feel. This happens because of something called dopamine. Many people believe dopamine is the chemical of pleasure, but neuroscience tells us something more interesting. Dopamine is much more connected to anticipation than pleasure itself. It pushes you toward rewards. It makes your brain say, go check again, maybe this time there will be something even better. Another message, another video, another surprise. And because those rewards are unpredictable, your brain becomes even more interested. You never know what comes next, which makes you want to try one more time. Now think about your favorite bad habit. Maybe it's eating when you're stressed. Maybe it's checking your phone every few minutes. Maybe it's procrastinating until the last possible moment. Look closely. The habit usually begins long before the behavior. It begins with a feeling. Stress, boredom, loneliness, or anxiety. Your brain notices the discomfort, then immediately searches for the fastest solution it already knows. Not the best solution, the fastest one. Psychologists often describe this as a habit loop. First comes a cue, then the routine, finally the reward. Let's say you're working on an important project. After 20 minutes, your brain starts feeling mentally tired. That's the cue without thinking. You open YouTube, or Instagram, or TikTok. That's the routine. A few seconds later, your brain feels temporary relief. That's the reward. Now your brain records something important. When work feels uncomfortable, this works. The next time you're stressed, it doesn't ask permission, it simply repeats the pattern. This is why habits slowly become automatic. Every repetition strengthens the connections between brain cells. Neuroscientists call this neuroplasticity. The more a pathway is used, the easier it becomes to use again. Think of walking through a forest. The first time it's difficult. You push branches away, you step over rocks, but after walking the same path hundreds of times, it becomes clear. Your brain builds habits the same way. So why is it so difficult to stop? Because your brain doesn't like losing reliable solutions, even bad ones. If a habit has repeatedly reduced stress, your brain considers it useful. Not because it's healthy, because it's predictable. Your brain loves prediction. It loves certainty. Anything familiar feels safer than something unknown, even when familiar is hurting you. This is why simply saying, "I'll stop tomorrow," rarely works. You're trying to remove the reward without giving your brain a new one. And brains don't like empty spaces. They look for replacements. That's why many people quit one habit only to replace it with another. Real change usually happens differently. Instead of asking, "How do I stop this?" ask, "What need is this habit trying to solve?" If stress is the trigger, find another way to reduce stress. If boredom is the trigger, replace the routine with something equally engaging. If loneliness is the trigger, the answer may not be more discipline. The goal isn't to fight your brain, it's to teach it a better pattern. Here's the good news. Your brain learned these habits, which means it can learn new ones too. Every time you choose a healthier response, even if it feels small, you begin creating a different pathway. At first, it feels difficult because the old road is wider. But every repetition makes the new road a little easier to follow. Until one day, the healthy choice no longer feels forced. It simply feels familiar. So if you've ever wondered, "Why does my brain keep pulling me back?" the answer isn't that your brain wants you to fail. It's trying to protect you using old instructions. Instructions written by repetition and repetition can always be rewritten. The next time a bad habit appears, don't just ask yourself, "How do I stop this?" Ask something much more powerful. What is my brain trying to protect me from? Sometimes that single question is where real change begins.